Hey everybody, welcome back to the Squawk Box. It is Christmas Day and I am apparently not celebrating Christmas today. So instead I'm going to talk Fallout, Bethesda, the Elder Scrolls. Let's get right into this because on the background on my TV there, I have got Skyrim Special Edition running. I'm a huge fan of this game. Now, let's get right into the meat and potatoes. Alright, first off, shoutouts to Todd Howard, my homeboy at Bethesda. Mwah! Fuck you for Fallout 76. You have that coming and you know it. Second off, to id Software, up yours for putting any part of your name on this mangled abortion gone off the rails. Because yesterday I was playing Rage. I'm a big fan of id Software. They're better than that, even if Bethesda owns them. So, here's my thought in things. Like I said, booted up Skyrim. Let's take a look at it. I could mention bugs. We all know they're there. That's sort of the game engine. However, it dawns on me that Bethesda hasn't really done much other than Doom, which is like 2.5 years ago, of really anything. And even Doom was id Soft, so let's not get that mixed up. Bethesda is fucking up and failing on all fronts with its own respective properties, mostly Fallout, and you know what? The upcoming Elder Scrolls game, I'm not holding out for it. I was pumped for Rage 2. Let's face it, Rage 2 is not going to be the sequel that I was tweeting to Bethesda and id Software about a Rage sequel 4 days before they announced it back in May or March or some shit like that. It's not going to be what I'm wanting it to be. In fact, I wouldn't doubt that it's going to end up being kind of loaded up with a lot of microtransactions and far less of that linear level type thing that I was kind of hoping for. I liked the linear level shooter in an open style hub world that gave you a lot of gameplay options. So, booting up Skyrim. First off, let's face it, Skyrim, even when it came out, wasn't all that great. I'm not saying it wasn't a great game. I mean, technically it wasn't all that great. Larger than Fallout 3, but Fallout 3, if I recall correctly, is older. So, I've also been playing Morrowind lately. Skyrim got me into the Elder Scrolls, Fallout 3 got me into Fallout. Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, Fallout Brotherhood of Steel on the PS2 after that, actually, and then Fallout 4. I didn't even waste time with Fallout 76. With the Elder Scrolls, I've actually kind of gone backwards, in that I got into it with Skyrim, dabbled in Oblivion, never really got into it. I totally broke Morrowind recently, and I've got Daggerfall and Arena on my PC here. So I've seen what these games had to work with, and here's one thing I can say. Anybody back in the day playing any of the Elder Scrolls game, Daggerfall or Arena, you know what? In fact, I would say up until Morrowind, Bethesda was kind of a dork studio. And I think Fallout might have been, had the developers of Fallout not opted to redo their tabletop RPG system based around the special points. We can thank Bethesda for throwing that right out the window, by the way. Somewhere between Fallout and the Elder Scrolls, Morrowind and post-Morrowind probably made it seem like Fallout done in the Elder Scrolls style would have been a fantastic idea. Fallout 3 is proof that it was. Fallout 4 is an even better execution. Not Fallout 4, Fallout New Vegas. But that was a project handled by Obsidian, the people who created Fallout originally. Bethesda will never let Obsidian touch the Fallout property again. I will get to what that leads to in a moment. So, if Bethesda's not going to let Obsidian near their, brainchild, and they're going to continue to try to abort it in the 34th trimester here, then fuck Bethesda. Let them do it. Let them implode. I'm not holding out for Starfield. In fact, I'm not even really holding out for the Elder Scrolls 6. Seeing what they've done with Fallout has left me devoid of any faith that Bethesda is going to, treat the Elder Scrolls any better. At this point, they've gone way too far money. And I'm not digging that. Side note, though, Oblivion does have trailers out currently for, The Outer Worlds? That has totally replaced my being pumped for Rage 2. Fallout 76 destroyed my expectations for Rage 2, and I liked the original Rage. I don't care what anybody else said. For a tech demo gone off the rails, that was an Xbox One game 5 years before the Xbox One came out, and it still looks and plays beautifully. So, there's that. id Software has a really great future ahead of them, but I can't for the life of me wrap my head around Bethesda's choice to use a creation engine for their next two releases, Starfield and Elder Scrolls 6. Another thing that doesn't make sense to me about Bethesda is why stick with the creation engine? We've had enough games done by id Soft themselves using even the Havoc engine or the Unreal engine or even their own, in-made engine. How is Bethesda Studios not managing to turn out AAA quality graphics and everything they touch with id Software under the banner? That doesn't make sense to me. Now I'm getting all agitated and shit. So, I'm pretty sure id Soft is gonna... Not id Soft. I'm pretty sure that Bethesda Studios is gonna crash and burn. I'm concerned they're gonna drag id Software down with them. Wolfenstein 2 was trash. And that's what happens when you don't use the full ass in making your games and you really try too hard to be relevant to a very irrelevant modern time. 20 years of reality TV has given reality a bad name. Bethesda, knock off the shit. I won't be buying Starfield, at least not until it's in a bargain bin. I'm not holding my breath for Elder Scrolls 6. I don't have any faith in your next Fallout title, period. Fallout 4, the modding community made it look good. You put out a piece of shit and left it for other people to polish up. It's playable now, it looks better now, but, really? For all the praise that Skyrim got upon launch when it came out, you could attribute a lot of that to the system. The Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 were much more powerful, could render much more at a greater draw distance with that engine than the original Xbox, so let's not give Bethesda too much credit on Skyrim to begin with. Let's give some credit to what good hardware they had to work with at the time. That shit's all outmoded and outdated now. Playing through Skyrim Special Edition. There it is on the background. You know what, Bethesda? Even when you put it out, you could have done better, but you didn't. It was another thing that you left to the modding community to really make good. And now with Fallout 76, you're punishing people who mod your flawed product to make it playable at their own expensive time because you greedy expletives can't be bothered to put expensive effort into it. So if you're gonna take away from the modding community, they're kind of the ones who are currently carrying you and your projects. They're the ones making them look good in the modern day and age because you cheap bastards won't pay id Software to build you something better than shit that's 20 years old. I just played through Morrowind. I see a lot of the same bugs in Morrowind that I see in Skyrim Special Edition and Fallout 4, even with mods there to fix a bunch of the other bugs. Some things are fundamentally fucked, Bethesda. Todd Howard's idea of morals and ethics, snide, lying, non-answering weasel that he was at E3, but your engine's fundamentally fucked too. Now, if you would get it together, I'm sure your consumers would be happy to carry you in to the next generation of gaming, which is going to be slim. I guarantee you that. With the retro market picking up, with people like me abandoning ship because we're fed up, and I didn't even buy Fallout 76. I looked at the shit you were pandering, and all I saw was Fallout Shelter in 3D. And Fallout Shelter is the only free-to-play game that I ever spent money on. $300 in to date. Haven't opened the app in about 6 months. So lose this delusion of monetizing everything you make. And EA and Ubisoft and Activision, that goes for you too. Cut the shit out. We're fed up. And there's a big enough retro library out there. With emulation being accessible enough for the next 15 years, the gaming community doesn't need the half-cooked shit you're shoveling in our faces. We will starve you out. We will drive your stockholders away because we are fed up. And there are enough alternatives to low ethic, low morality, condescending cash grabs that has become the AAA gaming industry. We will see EA, Activision, Bethesda, we'll see any of you fall from grace the same way we watched Squaresoft go from being the king of the industry in 1999-2000 to being 4th place by 2006. Sort your shit out. Bethesda, give me something worth buying. Quit lying to the community. Quit putting out half-baked goods. Quit expecting brand names to turn into profits. Because you cite how many people you have work on these projects. You were giving us more with a quarter of the staff. Go back to those days, or you won't live through to see those days return when the community and your main source of income turns their back on you and says, we're not falling for it again. Sort your shit out. It's not a threat from the community. It's a promise. Your stocks will continue to fall until we get not what we want, but what we're fucking paying for that you solicited to us. We don't ask you for goods. You ask us to purchase them, and that's the bottom line. Merry Christmas, everybody else. Thanks for a good year. Bye-bye.